As we're going, they go to their car. As I'm walking to my car, I have a BMW. It's kind of a little bit a smaller car, lower. As I'm getting into it, my pants completely rip. Whoosh,
oh, God, no.
From back, and it's not like this little rip, like the zipper. It's from back belt buckle all the way to the front zipper. And I was like, how in the world? I'm not buying H&M pants anymore. But it ripped all the way from the back all the way to the front. And I'm just like, what do I do? Like,
what's going on with the market? I know that there's a lot of stuff happening and like so many people are looking at like headlines every day. So it's like, what's really happening out there?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into all that.
Let's talk about everything.
Heck yeah. 41.
5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Energy Podcast. My name is Brian Landeros, and like always, guys, thank you so much for the overwhelming support, for all the love, and everybody that's always rocking behind us. Like always, if you haven't followed, subscribed, or followed us on all our social media, stop what you're doing right now, head over to our page, get that done, and we'll love you more than we did yesterday. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get into some updates and shout outs before we introduce tonight's guest. Thank you guys to Mortgage Heroes, guys. Historic low rates, under 3%. It's insane. If you're looking to buy or refinance, this is definitely the time. So make sure you send me a message or send me a smoke signal. Get a hold of me any way you can, and we'll be glad to help you guys out. Like always, thank you so much to Celsius for providing that positive energy that always keeps the energy fueled here at the Energy headquarters. And like always, last but not least, guys, August 29th to September 2nd, we will be doing Christian's Big Heart Run. This year's going to be a virtual event, so keep a lookout for all the information, and we'll make sure we put the notes down in the bio and all the stuff so you guys could reach us out and, come together and help our community. Now that we got that out of the way, guys, let's get into tonight's guest. You guys probably seen his signs all over Chula Vista. Leader of $1 million team, husband and father, and a b-boy by nature. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest from Teen Manzon, the man himself, the myth, and the living legend, Anthony Manzon. What's going on, bro?
Oh my gosh, of all the intros I've ever had, I can honestly say that was probably the most epic intro I've ever had.
Heck yeah, bro.
That was tight.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you coming down, bro. I know you're a busy man, so hey, you're taking time to come here. We really appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so real quick, before we get into all this good stuff, give us a quick short bio for the people that might not know you, which is very hard, but just give us a quick little intro of who you are.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Manzon. I am 31 years old right now. I'm getting into my 7th year in the business in September, so that's next month. Super exciting. Let's see, been in the business 7 years. I was a 30 under 30. 2 years ago, I was Rookie of the Year, #1 agent in my company, probably like 6 years in a row. It's been an amazing journey so far. And it's the beginning. It's still the beginning. I'm excited.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
Any more accolades, dude? I feel like the list just went on and on and on. Anthony, how was it, your first year in the industry? A lot of people that, follow us here are young, motivated cats that, want to know what to do in order to get their careers going. And you've had the opportunity to build something from nothing, and now you are where you are. So share a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, man. This is my favorite story because one of my big whys is to inspire people. And I share my story so openly and freely because if I could just inspire one person that was in a similar space that I was in at that time, I feel like my mission is fulfilled. Right. The more people I help, the better I feel about the mission, which is to inspire people. So I got licensed when I was 24 years old. I never had a real job before. This was actually my first job ever. Well, I did odd jobs here and there. However, you have to make more than $5,000 a year to file taxes or something.
Yeah.
Right? So I've never filed. I never made enough money to file before. And I was a dance teacher. I was traveling. I was breaking. My story starts back actually when I was at UC Santa Barbara. That's where I met my wife. My wife, she's my big inspiration. She's the one that inspires me for everything. It started there. We both graduated together, came back here to San Diego, lived at home, and we both couldn't get jobs after our degree. And so what happened was we were just pretty much trying to figure it out, trying to get a job. We had a wedding coming up. I proposed to her before we left college.
Right.
And it was just all about how are we going to get money to fund this wedding? We already sent out the invitations. It was a big 200-person wedding. And basically what it came down to was we were desperate. We were so desperate for an opportunity. I always tell everybody that, do you guys remember Groupon?
Yeah.
There was they had a special. They were like, hey, if you get certified to teach English in Korea, you can live out here and teach English. And we were like,
Hey, we should do it.
we actually paid for it. Like, to go,
you guys actually went through with it.
Yeah, we were that desperate. Yeah, and it didn't feel right to me. My wife did it. She finished the courses. I didn't finish them yet. But basically, what it came down to was my wife was a teller at a bank. An agent used to come in, deposit checks. She saw the fire within my wife and was like, hey, if you're looking to get your license, like meet up with our team leader.
Right.
And so she was like, okay. She met with her. That day she left with a new job. Like the team leader was like so impressed with she was so impressed with my wife. She's like, we want you to be the assistant for one of our top agents in the office. And I was on vacation at the time.
Right.
The bank my wife worked for didn't allow her to go on the vacation with us. So she was already like, pretty mad about that.
Yeah.
And so when I got back, she had a new job. And she was like, if you want to get into real estate, like you need to meet the team leader here.
Yeah.
And so after I met with her, the fire was ignited. I thought real estate was a part-time job. She was like, no, if you want to go for it, it sounds like you're desperate. Like this is the career for you. The rookie of the year last year made $120,000 their first year in the business. And I was like, rookie of the year, like
what?
I want to go for that.
What?
I'm competitive.
Yeah.
I like titles. And then there's the money opportunity also too. And so we were desperate. I think to reach any kind of success you're looking for, you have to have that hunger, that desperation. And that at that moment, right after I left that meeting, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to get my license no matter what. We're 1 year away from the wedding. By the time I finished getting my license, it was probably September 2013, I think. September 2013. The wedding was in April, so I was 8 months away.
Time.
It was crunch time, and I only had we only had $3,000, I think, in our bank account, and we used pretty much all that money to get licensed.
Right.
So starting
Courses,
from the
crash course, everything. You can.
It was just all momentum from there. So I worked my butt off from September all the way to April. Did 5 open houses a week, followed up relentlessly, worked 14 hours a day all the way up until the wedding, and that was like our big inspiration. And I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks right before the wedding, I closed enough business to actually pay off our wedding, all cash.
Dude, that's awesome.
Went on 2 honeymoons, and it was just a fun ride. I was hungry for it. It was something that I could work towards and see the results happen. And from there, it was just so much fun. I loved everything about real estate and what it did, and that's like pretty much the beginning of it.
And it's crazy, like, everyone that I've talked to that has been a top producer is just, flourishing in real estate always says, in some way I stumbled upon real estate. Like there was something going on in my life that dragged me into this. And it was like, ever since I got introduced to this, it was like no turning back. So that right there is just, amazing, especially if you're able to do it with, your partner for life. You guys are hand in hand, building this business up. So it's like, dude, that's amazing. A lot of people I know don't have, that same vision with their partners. But if you guys are able to, solidify it the same way, dude, you guys are freaking killing it both ways, both ends.
Yeah.
And I actually did a little digging into your Instagram, bro. I pulled up, if not the second to last picture, which would be your first picture posted or second picture posted. And it reads right there, my why. And I know you explained that your why is to inspire, but we all have multiple whys if you really, really think about it. How big of an inspiration and motivation was to bring your kid to life, and now, having that as a motivation for you to, go out there and do what you do.
Yeah, life changes when you have kids. Everybody told me that. I was 24, didn't have any kids yet, and I was able to work hard and just grind at it. And they're like, you'll see, when you have kids, things are going to change.
Hey, that's what my parents tell me. They're like, oh, you say that right now, but watch when you have kids. You're going to understand everything I told you. I'm like, yeah, okay, Mom. Mm-hmm. But it is true, though. I can imagine and I could see that. But, how has that changed your vision and your hunger?
I will say, when you first get into the business, it's like you have a big why, whether that's to prove it to yourself or prove it to others or to make money or whatever your big why is. When you have kids, it's all about like, how do I set up a life for myself where I can be with my kids, set up a life for them, and like be the best person that I can be, not only for myself, the business, and now my family also. You get split almost into 3 ways. Things have changed, and it's I have no regrets of anything, and it's just like building a life for the kids,
Right.
And the cool thing is when we had our first son, I have 2 kids now, my wife was able to take off pretty much, get out of the business for a good year and a half until we had our next one. And then she came back in, and then when she got pregnant with the other one, she had to get back out again. But It's an interesting ride. And one thing I want to say about what you said about spouses and support, I think one of the most important things for agents or anyone's entrepreneurs out there is you have to have that support from your spouse.
You have to.
Like, I would be nothing without the support of my wife. I can't even imagine saying, hey, babe, I want to do an open house this weekend. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, we didn't spend any time together. Can we spend it? Like,
what? Let's do it together.
Or they get mad at you for, like they're getting mad at you for working late because you want to support, the family.
But that's the biggest thing, that it's like, I do the same. If I have to be in here late, I am, because my ultimate goal is to make sure that I'm building a foundation for my future family to be able to build upon that. So it's like, hey, I'll take the hit right now just to know that my family is going to be okay later on. But it's like, it's all for the best of, their life and their, upbringing. So I feel like that is the best thing you could do when you guys both see eye to eye. Yeah,
that's huge. And for anybody that does, even if your spouse isn't in the business, like, I think I read the stat that real estate agents actually have one of the highest divorce rates. And I believe that, honestly, just because how much work and determination you have to put into this job, the amount of personal growth that you have, like as an agent or as an entrepreneur, it's scary when your significant other isn't growing at the same rate as you are. And they don't understand why you're spending $1,000 on a training program. They're like, we need to buy this. And you're like, this is the growth that I need to take us to the next business.
This $1,000 is going to turn into, X and Y.
When they don't get it, it creates like that friction between like the two spouses. In order to succeed in this business, you have to have the success or the support of both people. If you don't have that support, it's either your business is going to crash eventually or the relationship's going to crash eventually. One of the two.
That's golden. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good. And, speaking about, growth, you said, whether it's personal or in your business, mindset's a big thing for us here. How do you work on your mindset and how do you keep your mindset focused so that, at all times, that, hey, this is what's keeping me focused?
So I would say mindset is 99% of the success, if maybe not even 100.
No, yeah, definitely.
It's huge. And, for me personally, I'm big on like words of affirmation. So, when I wake up in the morning, I say my affirmations. Yesterday, I was in a competition against other real estate agents. Before getting on, I said my affirmations. I walk around the room. I say, I'm a strong communicator. I'm an inspiration. I'm competitive. I love to get the job done. I'm dependable. I have integrity. Like I say those affirmations that pump me up, get me in the zone. Because I think one thing as an entrepreneur and as an agent, to be successful in this business, the secret is, how can you get in the zone and stay in the zone?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get in the zone for a week, get in the zone for a day, and then you fall out of the zone, and that creates that inconsistency.
Right.
So the secret is like, figure out how do you get in the zone and how do you stay in the zone. For me, it's going to trainings, it's being around the right people, it's saying my affirmations, reviewing my goals. Those things keep you in the zone. And the longer you can stay in the zone, the more momentum you can create and create this big business or whatever you're looking to succeed in.
No, yeah, that's, dude, I'm like over here, I got to take note of this stuff. No, but it's true because a lot of people, like they figure it out that one way, okay, I get motivated for so long, but how can you stay inspired, because motivation will run out eventually. So how do you keep fueling yourself? And it's the simple things that you do. I feel like for me, like I write and journal a lot. So my affirmations, I write them out. And as I'm writing them out, I'm telling them to myself. So I'm an avid journaler. Like I have to write down everything that I'm doing because unfortunately my brain's like a 1 megabyte when I wish it was like a 1 terabyte.
It's all good.
But that's the stuff that helps for me. And then just, being around a team that, allows me to grow, allows me to be comfortable. That's ultimately, the environment that I try to surround myself around. And for you, Matt, you've created a team of, complete killers out there. They're great at what they do and they're all people persons. Like, how do you build a structure of a team like you have?
I think the important thing is to know who you are as an agent, as a person, as a business owner, like whatever it is. Hold up, we're going to call right now. We're going to hang that up. Are we still going? Okay, we're still good. What was the question one more time?
How did you build a strong foundation within your team and how you came up on that?
So I'm going to answer that in two ways. Perfect. Number one of the biggest things I can recommend for entrepreneurs or agents or whatever business you're in is like figure out who you are and be yourself at the highest level possible. You're going to attract the right people to your business. You're going to attract people to you as long as you're yourself. When I first got into business, I remembered I was like, okay, I'm 24 years old. I don't own any houses. I'm going to attempt to sell people some houses. Like, what does a real estate agent look like, talk like, sound like? So I started like speaking differently in the sense that it wasn't who I was.
Right.
I started acting differently, and I didn't get any business for the first like 3 months of my business. And so like I'll never forget, I called this agent one time. He didn't answer, but I heard his voicemail, and that voicemail changed my life forever. Because when he answered it, it was professional, it was cool, it was energetic, and I was just like, man, like that was the best voicemail I ever heard. And like, why can't I be that too? And that voicemail, and I tell him all the time, like, your voicemail changed my life. Because it allowed me to figure out who I was as an agent, as a person. Once I figured that out, like that's when my business exploded. And I think that's why a lot of people say, like, Anthony, you're unique in this business. You are who you are. It's because I figured out like who I am as a person, as an agent, and as a business person. And I've integrated all three of those at the same time. A lot of people say, I got to turn it on and turn it off. Well, for entrepreneurs, business owners, agents, you don't turn it off. You're integrating.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important and interesting about this quarantine and everything we're going about is that we were used to turning it on and turning it off. Okay, I'm going to go to the office to work.
Yeah.
When I'm with family, I'm with family. When I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode. However, because now we're all working from home, we've actually been forced to integrate all of our lives at the same time. So at my house now, I work from home. I've never worked from home my entire career. At any moment, my kids can run in, want to sit on my lap, and I'm prospecting. And that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you had to integrate all three of those things together now, which is why a lot of agents are making it and a lot of agents aren't making it.
Right.
It's because they haven't figured out, like, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like, oh, I can't lead generate because my kids are out there. They could yell. It's like, it's cool. Like, your clients, most likely, their kids are at home too. They're integrating life also too. So going back to that question you asked me, like, how did I get people on my team that are similar to me, similar in personality and just people, is I just was myself at the highest level, and I attracted the right people that want to be in business with me.
Right.
If I fake who I am and I speak a certain way and that's not who I am, well, as soon as they join the team, they're like, "Oh, this isn't
guy's fake."
Exactly. Yeah. So you just got to be yourself, and the right people will want to work with you. And I think that goes far in business also. Just be yourself, and you'll attract the right clients. You'll be happy because you're working with people that want to work with you because of who you are as a person.
Yeah. And I love that you say that because as cliche as it sounds, be yourself. That's really it. You know, and one thing you said that I really, really liked was that you integrated everything. And everybody thinks that, you know, you have to be this certain realtor, you have to be this certain professional person. But once you're able to just be you and find a way of how to connect you, your business, and everything just flows perfectly because you're not faking anything. It's all coming natural. And, you know, what I've noticed, you know, being in this industry is that people read, you know, the bullshit, they'll read the bad intentions right off the bat, just off your sincerity. And if you're just honest in yourself, like, a lot of people will respect that more than you know, trying to just tell them what they want to hear. And I really, like, you know, I follow you a lot because, you know, you have that I don't see in other agents, which is you're yourself, and you don't play any other part but you, and you're able to, you know, bring in your B-boy or be the Spider-Man, and all that stuff is cool because it's like, yo, this is me. I'm just me in business now.
Exactly.
And
like,
that's it.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you sharing that because a lot of people, you know, I feel like they'll go that route where I have to be that person, and you don't. You just have to be you, and you're your best tool that you have to be, you know, the success that you want to be. So moving forward, you know, right now we're going through crazy times, and I know COVID was like a big hiccup for a lot of people, and it left them wondering, like, what do I do now? How has COVID changed the market from just 6 months ago?
Yeah. So interesting thing is about COVID is that it actually, I felt like it changed 2 times. Like right when COVID hit, right when the quarantine happened, we felt the market slow down a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Everybody
Definitely.
pulled back.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah. Everybody got shocked. I would say for about a good 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what was going on. As an agent, like what I saw happening in the business, it was an exciting time for me because this whole time, the industry, agents, buyers, sellers, they've been programmed in one way. Especially here in San Diego.
Yeah.
It's, hey, I'm just going to put my house on the market and let's just see what happens. It's a seller's market. I do whatever I want. Like,
I got control.
Sellers had all the power. However, in the first 3 weeks, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew the protocol. Nobody even knew if you could show houses anymore.
Like what's happening.
So sellers I saw were the most coachable that they've ever been.
Okay.
And when they were the most coachable they've ever been, it's been great because we sell houses faster. We can still follow the protocols, and they were willing to do what it takes to get the home sold. Now what we've seen since that whole quarantine kind of beginning effects, I would say, like slowed down a lot, the market like picked up crazier than I've ever seen. You know, I mentioned my 7th year in the business is September, craziest market that I've ever been in. You know, we're seeing properties on average get anywhere from 15 to 25 offers if they're priced right and they're competitive. Just 7 months ago, if you had 3 offers, that's still great.
Yeah.
That was great.
That
like,
was good.
Dang, 3 offers, that's amazing. All of a sudden, 25, 26 offers. To be competitive in this market, you as an agent have to adapt to today's market. If not, you're going to be left behind. So like the strategies my team and I are implementing are thinking to ourselves, this is a homework assignment that I gave my agents. And for anyone listening too, this is a great assignment that I'm giving you is make a list, 25 items, no less than 25, and write down what are 25 different things that you can do to get your offer accepted in today's market. So just think about it. I mean, what is everybody doing already? Buyer cover letter, pre-approval. You know, like they're doing those things. However, that's not going to separate you in today's market.
How are you going to stand out? What's going to make you look like a better offer than the one that they're seeing next?
Yeah, even outside. So let's just brainstorm. 25 things. What can you think of right now?
So,
and
I mean,
think outside the box. And I'll tell you some of mine that we've done to get offers accepted.
I mean, shorten contingencies. Let's see. No closing cost. I mean, no credits asked for on offers.
Okay, so I'm going to take you out of the mind of a loan officer right now.
Yeah, because I look at it from a different way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so even as a loan officer, this is what I thought of. So we already have buyer cover letters. That's great. That's cool. What about agent cover letters? Like what if as an agent you're writing an offer and you're writing about yourself, why you should get the offer accepted because of your resume. We had a seller as a buyer recently wrote a song to the seller in a video about the property and we got that offer accepted.
Get out of here.
We did. We went to the property, we showed a property and we noticed the seller had a bunch of succulents all over the house. So what I do, I went to a person, we had a succulent arrangement when the offer was submitted with a nice handwritten card. We dropped it off at the seller's doorstep without even having to look at the other offers. They're like, we're only going to counter this one because they showed the thought and effort in getting the offer accepted.
And it's almost coming together like, how do you team up with the buyer to be like, yo, how can we come at this together and, you know, get you into the house as a team? So that's crazy because those are stuff that I wouldn't even think about. Like completely, I'm like, what the heck? That's so outside of the box.
You have to.
But that's what you got to do to stand out in this market because like you said, getting your offer accepted is going to be very tricky when you have like 20 plus.
Yeah. Think about it this way. Like you could be the best prospector in the world. You could be the best at follow-up. You can give the best customer service. However, if you're not thinking out of the box and you're only writing offers with, you know, shortened contingencies, pre-approval letter, proof of funds, like you're literally in the same pool as everyone else. And the one who wins is the highest price.
Yeah.
If you think outside of the box, appeal to the seller's emotional side in different ways, then price isn't always the most important thing. Another buyer of ours we represented, when we walked in the house, we saw a very famous art painting in there. And she was like, oh, like I didn't even know about it. My buyer did. She's like, if he likes this painting, I have a gift for him. We went home. She had this book. And she was like, if he likes this artist, this is the book. This is a very rare book. And when we submitted the offer, we gave the book. She wrote a handwritten card. They got 7 offers on the first day. And it was on a Wednesday.
Oh my God.
And when the seller saw it, he's like, man, this was so thoughtful. Thank you. Like, let's just accept their offer. And like they didn't even counter the other agents.
Dude, that's awesome.
So I feel bad for the other agents when they're up against us because that's what we're doing to stand out in today's market.
Look, I look at it like a sport, you know?
Yeah.
Every team is trying to win, you know? So when you're bidding, you're in competition. So it's like whatever you got to do to win, that's what you got to do to get that championship ring or that championship trophy.
Exactly.
And I love it because those are stuff that people aren't even thinking about. So it's like, if you're not thinking about it, well, buddy, I'm sorry. You're probably not going to get your offer accepted.
Exactly.
So, you know, what I've been seeing a lot is like, you know, inspections, appraisals, and everybody that's, you know, also part of the transaction. How has that changed with COVID? You know, like, are you waiting for the inspector with booties and with the whole bodysuit to come in and check the house out? Or how's that working out for you guys right now?
Yeah, great question. So one thing that I've identified in today's market is everybody takes the virus differently on a scale from 1 to 10.
Right.
Number 1 is, hey, I'm not scared of it at all. I want to be at the inspection. I want to talk to the inspector. Like, those are the people, like, level 1.
Yeah.
Level 10 is like, I'm deathly afraid of the virus. I don't want to go into the house. I want to buy it virtually. I don't want to see it. I won't do anything.
Yeah.
So we always have that conversation with the client on a scale from 1 to 10. How scared are you of the virus? And based on their level, we accommodate their needs.
Right.
So for some of them, we're selling it virtually 100%. They don't even enter the house. And then for some of them, we of course follow the basic protocol: mask, gloves, booties, hand sanitizer, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to always depend on the client.
Right. So case by case.
Yeah.
And then as far as, open houses, I know you guys are known for the mega open houses. Like every weekend I see your signs all over the place. How have you guys, innovated and transitioned over to doing what you guys do now?
Yeah. So right now we've built our business off of open houses. So we're like, how do we take what we already know we're good at and take it to like a different level? And so that's when we got the idea of like the virtual open houses. It was pitched upon me. I was like, virtual open houses, how does it work? You stand there, you're selfie styling yourself, you walk around, like that's not scalable. So I thought, how do we make this process as simple, scalable as possible and really tell the buyers what they need to know in order to buy the house.
Right.
So what we do is we integrate now Matterport technology so we can do like the 3D
Virtual
tours.
3D,
you can walk in. And what we do now is we go on Zoom and I do a screen share and I walk around the entire property virtually through the 3D Matterport.
Yeah.
And I basically tell them everything that they ever need to know about the house. I think it's really cool because as a listing agent, you don't really have that opportunity very often to tell them every single thing about the house.
Right.
Because on the MLS, the description is so minimal.
160 characters.
Exactly. It's so many, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
So at the virtual open house, I have the opportunity to talk to the people on Zoom and say, hey, one thing I really like about this floor plan is one thing you don't know, in this original floor plan, there's actually a wall here. This seller took this wall down. And so we can talk about the different nuances about the house so that the next buyer wouldn't know, but if they did know, it like gets them way more interested in. And so it's been working out pretty well.
No, yeah, and I see it. I see you guys. Chelsea's been killing it as well. So big props to her and your whole team. How do you keep everyone motivated during these times?
Oh, actually, you know what? One thing popped in my head. I want to add one more thing to virtual open houses.
Go.
So one thing about the virtual open houses is, yes, it's a way to market the property. However, the reason why we use virtual open houses, it also filters out the buyers who may not have wanted to see the house in the first place. So I think about it and I say, hey, if the goal, like with open houses, the goal is get as many people in there as possible.
Right.
Now with today, we want as minimal people in there as possible. So with the virtual open houses, my goal is to eliminate as many people as possible who don't really need to see the house in the first place.
Yeah.
I remember when we first started doing virtual open houses, we had 77 people on the virtual open house. Of the 77, we had 11 in-person showings. And then of those 11 in-person showings, we had 9 offers come in.
Oh, wow.
So the cool thing about that is I look at the showing to offer ratio. Like that's what I was looking at with the virtual open houses. In the past, if you want 9 offers on a property, you got to get like 50 or 60 people in there.
Yeah.
The fact that we had 11 people in there and 9 offers, that's like a 85 to 90% ratio.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is more important in today's market is filtering out the people that weren't going to want it because, oh, this doesn't have a downstairs bedroom, or, oh, the living room looks too small, which I was able to either eliminate them because of the virtual open house and only get the ones in who are serious about it.
Right,
so that's what I wanted to add in there. It's to eliminate, look at the showing to offer ratio.
Right. And that's very strong to know your numbers because now you know exactly what you need to do and what numbers to hit to get the same numbers. Mm-hmm. And, for a lot of people, this whole COVID era in the real estate, it actually made, the strong buyers approved be the ones that are going to stay out and not be able to purchase. And all the people that unfortunately weren't as, strongly approved, they weed out and they have to wait until, their cycle comes over again. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, what would you advise, buyers and sellers right now in this time about, the real estate market?
So it's always going to depend on, what is your real estate goal? Is your goal to buy an investment property that you can buy now and flip in 3 months? Or is your goal to buy a property and hold it long term? Or is your property to sell and liquidate and take all your cash now? Or is it to buy, stay so it's always going to depend on the client's motivation. Well, what's the reason for buying? If they're telling me, hey, I want to buy right now because I want to lock in a low interest rate and have this property long term, then absolutely now's the perfect time for that. If a buyer says to me, you know what, I'm looking to buy a house now, I'm only going to live there for 2 years, then sell it and move back to family, maybe you want to wait for that kind of buyer right now. Maybe now's not the right time to buy. So it really depends on what your goal and motivation is. And I'll always tell you, if now's the right time based on what your goal is, I'll tell you. And if it's not, then it's not. And the last thing I want to do is give you the wrong advice. You buy and your goal was to sell in 2 years and say the market goes down. And you told me from the beginning and I sold you a house anyways, that's not good business right there.
Yeah, your integrity is going out the door at that point. And that's, one of the things that a lot of people feel like, there's a cookie cutter and you can just, place it wherever and this is going to be your transaction, just like how it was for your, your buddy, your friend, your coworker. I always tell clients, hey, it's whatever is in your best interest at this moment. What's your situation? What are you looking to do? Because, hey, maybe it didn't work out for your buddy, but your situation is way different. So you have to go at it yourself, figure out what it is. A lot of people say, oh, I can't get pre-approved because because of this. Well, why? Let's get to the root of the problem, and from there be able to create a plan and know whether it's going to be the right decision or not. And that's the best thing you could do. Go with someone that's going to guide you and not just try to make you another number in their transactions. So getting out of this whole real estate topic, let's get into your hobbies and lifestyle, bro.
Ooh.
So I actually have a picture I pulled up, and
Man,
actually
you did some research. Shoot.
Actually, right before we move into that, I wanna just address the competition you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that and the opportunity you had. It was the best negotiator, and how was that, bro?
It was fun. So I got approached by Daniel Beer, Kai Whistle, both great people. They
Yeah.
were saying, "Hey, we're having a competition here. It's gonna be nationwide. We want to put the top agents in each market like against each other in a scenario-based like objection handle. Like, how would you handle this scenario?" It was more geared towards agents to see how we handle those situations, and a lot of friends and family members like got on and wanted to watch and support too. Basically, they gave us a scenario. There was one person in front, and he'd say, "How's the market?" Or, "Hey, I was gonna work with this agent, and it's a family member. Why should I use you?" And every agent had 2 minutes to handle that objection or handle that scenario and how you would handle it. We had maybe like 500, no, I'd say like 400 people virtually on there watching it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And after that, the crowd would actually vote who won that one.
Oh, okay, that was what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Like who's the judges?
Yeah, so it was
but that's cool.
which was mostly agents, which was really cool.
Yeah, it's all industry people.
Yeah, so it was really cool. I mean, so unfortunately, I got knocked out first round, and yet I'm cool with that. Like, you learn more from the losses than the wins. And the guy went up. He's an amazing agent. He's on stage with Tom Ferry. Shout out to Tom. He's amazing at what he does. And just know I'm coming for you because next time I'm gonna get you.
Ooh, he said it here.
Of course.
Fire. I love it, bro.
If you lose and you're just like, oh,
it's okay.
I'll never face him again. Like, no, what the?
I'm so competitive in everything. Even if I lose, I'm like, all right, I lost, but wait till we face again. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
That's what it's about.
All right, so I have to pull this one out, bro. I had to, bro, and show the people, bro. Look at this.
Shoot.
Who's this, Anthony? Who is this guy?
I'm just kidding. Let's show the camera real quick.
Show the camera.
Brian, he did his research. That's me and my wife. Let's see right there. So this is me and my wife. This is actually the day I asked her to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
See, that's a good day. I had in this picture. It's funny. I have an afro. So when I was breaking for 10 years, I actually used to perm my hair. So I permed my hair.
Oh, it wasn't natural.
It was not natural.
Pretty straight.
Yeah, I permed it every 6 months. I'd have a fro. I'd pick it out. That's because like in breaking, and this kind of ties into like who I am as a real estate agent too, is in breaking, like there's also different types of identities. Are you like the power, we call them power heads, where you focus on power moves, or are you more of like old school style? I was more like old school traditional, focus on my style, my footwork, my top rocks. And so like that was more like an old school style that I wanted to portray. So I had like a fro. I still like pretty goofy. I focus on burns, tracksuits and that kind of stuff. So that's what that picture shows. But I remember that because that was the day I asked my wife to be my girlfriend that day.
Did you break dance for her and be like,
that's actually how I met her. It's funny. At my very first party when I went to UC Santa Barbara, it was like a rush event for sororities and fraternities.
Did you go Greek?
I did not. Well, it's funny that I didn't, because when I showed in, I had my fro, I was fresh, and no one ever seen a guy like that. Like, who's this guy? He's new. It was my first party, and they were like, "I want that guy to join our frat. Who's your best recruiter?"
Yeah.
And it was actually Reggie. So she was.
Oh, no way.
Because it was a joint one, so the girls and the guys, they're like, "Reggie's the best. Go send her to go get him." And so they sent Reggie to get me.
You.
Actually, I got her because I didn't join the fraternity. So. Yep, that's how that happened.
That's awesome, dude. That's crazy. A lot of people don't know. I was looking through your Instagram. I was like, wait, hold on, what?
Yep.
All right, man. So this one right here is, we talked a lot about team, bro. And you guys, last year, October 9th, 2019, you posted a picture of the first time you guys broke $1 million in gross commission income.
Yeah, wow.
How did that feel, bro? How was that?
Man, it's so cool that you bring these pictures on to surprise me. I love that. Look at this one. This picture he's showing, this is the first day our team broke $1 million in GCI. We're doing this, like Dr. Evil. $1 million.
$1 million.
But it was amazing, man. That's the goal. Like, from the beginning, I remember just, I didn't even make $5,000 in a year. And to see that our entire team together, we broke $1 million in GCI. And I think that was in October, so we even got further than that. But just for that to happen, it's just like, is that even possible? And, for a lot of agents, it's scary to post these kind of things because your clients think about you a certain way.
Right.
And yet my big why and the reason why I do what I do is I want to inspire people.
Definitely.
And if anybody out there who maybe doesn't have direction in their life, they're looking for something and they're just like, man, Anthony did it. Like, holy, how did he do that? I knew him from the beginning. He's never changed. And it's like, if I could just inspire one person, like, hey, we got to 1 million and you can too. Like, that's why I'm in this business.
And that's, that one of the biggest things that I strive to be is always congruent. Whether you see me out in the street, whether you see me in the video, wherever you see me, I'm always going to be the same person. That's how I feel, you have to be. Just be yourself and be the best you, because only you could be you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And one thing I'll add too is, since last year, I really focused on sharing like who I am as a person, an agent, a family man, and all that stuff. And so like on my Instagram stories, like follow me there. Like that's like really what my life,
bro.
That's what my life honestly is. And there's no like, oh, I'm only showing the good stuff. Well, I mean, I don't show the bad stuff because there's not, to be honest, not a lot of bad stuff happen, or maybe I don't see them as bad stuff. You know what I mean?
It's all perspective.
Yeah, it really is all perspective. So like if you want to see like what I'm about, what I do, my Instagram is Anthony Manzon, and like I pretty much post every day, and it's my way of sharing with my clients. Like
I saw you got that jersey yesterday.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting. I'm a huge Chargers fan. I love football. Fantasy football is right around the corner. Derwin James jersey just came back in stock. I ordered 2 of them because I wasn't sure if I was smaller or medium. I'll return the other one.
Which color did you get?
I got the white with the blue.
If you don't want the other one, I'll take it, bro. I love the Bulls.
You size small or medium?
Yeah, small. I'll take small.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah,
I'll take either. Oh, yeah.
It's back ordered like crazy.
Whichever one you don't want, I'll take.
All right, let's do it.
Best uniform in the league.
Seriously, it looks amazing, right?
Nobody could beat that.
No one at all.
And you got Derwin James. Who else did you get?
Well, that's the only one of the new version that I got so far. But my other jerseys, I got like a throwback LT version back when he broke the record. Like I wanted that one. I didn't want him in the new version just because, like, that's the memorabilia of like what he looked like when he broke the record.
Is there a specific jersey that you? So the LT one, is that the specific jersey that you keep and you cherish the whole time?
That's my favorite one because it's timeless.
LT,
like
yeah, baby legend.
Exactly, man. It's the throwback one. Not a lot of people have that one. It's actually fitted to me. It fits perfectly.
Oh shoot!
You can check it out on my Instagram. I think it's in there. I'm like posing like this because like that's my favorite jersey.
That was the year when you got 28 rushing touchdowns. That was amazing.
Yeah, 28, and then he caught 3 touchdowns. So it was like 31 total for the year.
Yeah, bro, get your facts right.
He also threw 2 against the Raiders.
Yep, he did.
Right.
Yep, 31
Dude, I
touchdowns.
remember
Fantasy
that.
football, that was the craziest season ever.
Oh man, I wish I was playing back then.
I know, right?
So, what's your favorite car?
Oh man, now it's a Tesla for sure. Like I bought my Tesla in January of last year. Yeah, it's out there. I actually wrapped it. And he's already made that one. He has a great salesperson only asks questions that they know the answer to already. And so, man, I'm not gonna lie, if you ever like own a Tesla, you're not going to own any other car because there's no need to. Like, so what I did is I bought the Model 3, the base model, $35,000. Woo! No gas. It's self-driving. There's like all these apps I can watch Netflix, do all that stuff. So no gas.
Put the fire on in the middle. Right?
Yeah, it's just like for everything that it offers for $35,000. Like
that's a steal, not
it's
a deal.
Steal. Yeah, it's seriously, it's like not even fair to the other companies. And so like I'm a firm believer and supporter of Tesla after I bought it because I'm just like, because I went from like having a $65,000 BMW 5 Series, which was a great car.
Yeah.
And this one just blows it out of the water. Like,
oh my God.
100 times out of 100 times, I'll pick this Tesla because it's faster. Like, acceleration is crazy. No gas money. At any moment, like, you can have an app update and your car just completely changes. Like the interface changes.
What?
Yeah, because the software is the softwares would change, but the hardware stays the same. So you can actually like app update, and then your car is faster in the morning. Like the acceleration even gets faster because they do an app update on there.
That's
and
insane.
Yeah, so like maybe 2 days ago, my car couldn't read red and green lights. Now it can. So now it could stop at green lights and go, and just like you just update it from your house.
Tell us about the first time you did the self-driving.
Oh yeah, so cool. I'm optimistic, level 10 out of 10. Everybody's like, I would have never let a car drive for me. I'm too scared. I'm like, I paid for this, so I'm going to do it.
I'm going to try every feature it has.
Yeah, so it honestly, like it reads, like the best way it drives is on the freeway because it turns, it stops, it slows down. It even exits for me. It even exits for me.
Does it pump gas on its own?
Well, it doesn't need gas, so actually yes. But everything's controlled from the app. It really is the craziest thing ever. So I actually bought like Tesla stock like 3 days ago.
Okay, and it's going up.
Yeah, and they announced they're going to be splitting that, so that's like pretty cool. So like that's how much and that's the first stock I ever bought. Like I'm not into stocks at all, but I'm just like when I see it, I'm like, this is $35,000, and like. If I was like on the road and a Maserati came next to me, like acceleration wise, like that's $100,000 car, mine's $35,000. I'm actually confident that I might be able to take this car out, not knowing like facts and that stuff.
And eco-friendly.
If anybody owns a Maserati, he's calling you out.
Anybody that has a Maserati, guys, Anthony Manzon's calling you guys out.
I mean, like, that's how fast it is. And I'm just like,
Hey, we should go against the Corvette outside.
I would actually do it, you know? Like, that's how fast it is. I'm just like, and just because I went from a BMW,
Yeah.
like 5 Series, which isn't like a base model, like, I remember pressing acceleration and it's like lag.
And then it takes off.
Tesla's just like, as soon as I grow my toenail, even a millimeter, it's like, boom, you know? That's how crazy the acceleration is on that thing.
This is not a sponsored video by Tesla. Just
Yeah, I know,
That's just
right?
how much I believe in it, so.
No, definitely. So, right before we get into my favorite part of the podcast, is there anything you want to say
About anything?
about anything before we move into what's called the lightning round, which is a series of questions that I don't know the answers to, you don't know the answers to, only Marco knows, so he literally could be anything at this point, but it's all tailored about the conversation. So,
Okay.
anything you want to close out before?
You know, I would say follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. You know, I'm an open book. I'm approachable. Like, I love having conversations with people. And like I said, my big why is to inspire people. So if there's anyone out there like looking for inspiration or looking for just like a conversation that's going to change your life, I know how it's changed mine, the trajectory of my life, my generations to come. And so like, that's what I want to be to somebody else. So shout out to Ashley Lunn, my mentor, the one that got me into the business. She ignited the fire in me. And, you know, ever since that moment when I knew like my life was going to change after that, all I had to do was put in the work. Like, I was ready for that change. One more thing. Yeah, actually, one more thing I'd add. There's
let it all out,
some
bro.
stuff I want to throw at you guys.
Heck yeah.
I think one thing, like, as a generation for us, we're told one thing. It's like, go to school, get good grades, go to college, and you get a good job. Challenge is, like, that's not the path anymore. So for a lot of people our age, they're like, okay, I got the good grades, I took my AP classes, I went to college, got my degree, but now I can't get the job, or I'm not happy with the job. So, like, they're left in this limbo state where they don't know where to go 100% at.
Right.
They're like, I think I might like this, so I'm going to go 90% at this. The best thing that you can ever do for yourself is discover what is the thing that you can go 100% all in at. And that's the thing that you're passionate about. That really is. And once you know, like, your passion is what's going to make you happy. It's going to fund the life that you want to have.
Yeah.
If you get into something you're passionate about and you're like, I want to own a mansion one day, but they don't align, like, there's disconnect there. So you have to also identify what kind of life do you want to live? Are you willing to sacrifice some parts of your life to focus on what you're passionate about? Because once you find the thing that funds that life by design that you can be passionate about and go at it 100%, that's the hardest thing to do, is find that out. Once you find that out, it's easy. Now you just got to go do it, and you got to go have fun along the way. So go find it, and then everything after that's easy.
Wow, Anthony, thank you so much. That's really good. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah,
So let's get into the lightning round.
let's do it.
All right, I'm going to say a word, and I want you to say the first word that comes to mind.
Uh-oh.
Okay? First one, Ladanian.
Oh, Tomlinson. Yeah.
Philip.
Rivers.
Antonio.
Gates.
Patriots.
Hell no.
Yes!
No,
I hate
no.
the Patriots.
I respect them because they win. Like, I respect winners. However, like, what they did to us in that playoff round, when Nate Kading misses that kick and we get knocked out after being the number 1 seed, I can't root for them. I respect them. I just can't root for them.
Yep, I agree, man. So in college, I had a buddy that loved the Patriots, and he was all... Shout out, Pico. I hate the Patriots because of him. He freaking loved Tom Brady, and I was like, bro, stop. And then we beat him because my team's the Eagles. So once we beat him, I hold it over him so much. Even though we lost in 2005, we came back and we won.
Dude, you won last.
Pico, we got you, bro.
Hey, and also too, like, the thing about Brady is I have just so much respect for him as like a competitor. The best, I think he's like the best ever. Maybe in any sport too. Like, he's just like the amount of rings that he has, no excuses. He comes in with teams that don't look like they're gonna win. Like, actually, I've heard like segments of the documentary about him and his life and how he lives. Like, winning is not an accident.
No, it's not.
Especially getting to that level, it's not an accident. Like, I've even heard stories where, like, the way he gets out of bed is very specific because he knows, like, in order to play football longer, he has to get out of bed that same way. Whether it's, I don't know what it is, left foot, right foot, or 2 feet down at the same time.
If I move one little thing, it's going to mess up my tendon, and there it is.
He's intentional in every aspect
That's
of his
insane.
life, from the littlest things, like, which is crazy. So,
But I mean, it shows because, I mean, look at his trajectory of success.
Exactly.
So he's doing something right for sure. So, question number 2, beach or mountains?
beach.
Yeah. Question number 3, what living celebrity do you most identify with?
Oh. I gotta say it. It's The Rock.
Dude,
The Rock is
honestly,
the man.
that's what I was thinking too.
Seriously?
I was so thinking that. I was like, dude, The Rock, easy.
Dude, The Rock is the best. When I think about celebrities, The Rock is just, I watched him up growing up wrestling. I love the underdog story. I love being the underdog. And The Rock is the man.
I love it. Question number 4. Who's your favorite Kardashian? I hate the Kardashians.
I don't watch him enough.
Thank you.
But the only one I guess I really know is Kim Kardashian. So
That's it?
Yeah, I don't know enough to say. I just know the name. So
Yeah. All right. Horrible question, whoever wrote that one.
it's all good.
Question number 5. If you were a bagel, what type of bagel would you be?
Oh, everything bagel. That's my favorite bagel.
Yep.
It's the best tasting one.
It has everything. Mm-hmm. All right. Question number 6. Linkin Park or Blink 182?
I wasn't really into that type of music. So one thing that's kind of interesting
Yeah, what
about
type
me,
of music are you
I didn't really listen to music growing up as a kid. Like I just started dancing like in freshman year of high school.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't listen to music. I didn't know about rhythm. I didn't know how to stay on beat. Like
And now you're like...
Yeah, and I just that's when I started dancing. So if for anyone out there who's like, I want to get into dancing, but I never learned, I started learning like about music in general at age 15. So I remember asking one of my b-boy friends, like, if you never heard a song before, how do you dance to it? And the most easiest, obvious answer was usually songs have the same rhythm throughout the song. And I didn't even know that kind of stuff. That's how
Makes sense.
basic knowledge I had of music.
Yeah, who's Tupac?
No, I'm just kidding. I just heard about it. I'm just kidding.
Your face, you're I was like, is this guy serious? This guy here.
Yep.
Question number 7. Have you ever had to scream help? And if so, why?
You know what? I could honestly say I never have had to yell help.
Good.
Yeah. Sounds like a scary moment.
Help.
Yeah, no.
Question number 8. Between you and your wife, who's always right?
I think we have a really good relationship. Like, you guys are gonna crack up at this. My wife, she cracks up every time I say this, but I always say, in my vows to her, even I said, like, one thing I love about you is you're so logical. I don't want to say put people in the categories, but let's just say females are a little bit more emotional than men. Is that fair to say? I always say my wife, and you guys will crack up at this, my wife is a man in a woman's body. Like, she's logical, she's fair, we get along, her jokes are funny, and so I'm just like...
Her jokes are funny, I love it.
Yeah, so like she's just so logical. So like we're both right and we're both wrong, and we acknowledge it when she's like gets mad at me for something. And this is an honest thing. We've only gotten to a fight I think 3 times in our life, and at those times that we did fight, we were like maybe drinking and like at a party or something having fun. So it was never like a logical. We've never gotten into a fight before other than that. It was just those 2 or 3 times. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have a really good thing. We have a great relationship.
That's awesome, man. That's how it should be. So, all right, what's the weirdest thing you've done when you're alone?
Weirdest thing? I don't think anything I do is weird. I just love everything that I do. That's why.
That's not a person that does weird things.
Yeah. No, okay, let me think. Something that might be weird, something that might be weird, something that might be weird. Can I switch the question and say the weirdest thing that's happened to me, like while showing a property?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, let's switch it. Yeah, weird things that have.
That was the original question. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No wonder I saw a few things crossed out. Yeah,
She's the one changing it up.
Yeah. That's
Gotcha.
exactly what I was thinking.
So yeah, weird thing. I mean, it's weird and it's funny, and this is like one of my proudest moments in real estate. I had a military family come into town. They're like, we only can see properties for 2 days. I'm like, cool. I have 4 properties that we're gonna show today. Perfect. I show them the first house. They like it. Looks cool. All right, I'll meet you guys at the next property. They go to their car. As I'm walking to my car, I have a BMW. It's kind of a little bit a smaller car, lower. As I'm getting into it, my pants completely rip. Whoosh.
Oh, God, no.
From back, and it's not like this little rip, like the zipper. It's from back belt buckle all the way to the front zipper. And I was like, how in the world? I'm not buying H&M pants anymore. But it ripped all the way from the back all the way to the front. And I'm just like, what do I do? Like, they're in town for 1 day. We have 3 more properties on the list. I'm like,
quick.
the show must go on. So I will say in these next 3 showings was the most epic, like hand movements, back to the wall. You guys go on upstairs. I'll follow you after.
You guys go first, please.
Yes, the whole way. 3 more showings, rip pants, and we actually got through the whole thing without them even knowing.
Was it breezy?
It was breezy as heck. We showed the 3, but the best part about this, at the very end of it, they're sitting at the window, and I'm like, all right, like, I walked them to the car, my butt facing away from them the whole time. I'm like, all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. And then they're like, oh, Anthony, can we get the MLS sheets that we saw properties at? and my car is 30 feet behind me. And I can't turn around because they're going to see my butt. So I do the most clever back walking, talking to them at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to see, I walk back like 40 feet, open the car with my foot behind me, reach in, grab it, and then I walk towards them.
Like, why is he so weird? What's going on here?
That whole thing happened. And I mean, the cool thing is they wrote an offer on the first house. We got the offer accepted. As I told them when we got the offer accepted, I told them I ripped pants.
I was going to say, did you ever tell them?
Yeah, of course. They were cracking up.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, not awesome that it happened, but that, you know.
It's an epic real estate story that I'm going to hold forever. Like, the show must go on. That's what I always say.
No matter what, you keep pushing forward.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. All right, question number 10. What's the worst thing you've ever been caught doing?
Worst thing? To be honest, like, for people that know me, I actually don't do, like, bad stuff. Like, what's the worst thing? I mean, you're going to crack up if I say jaywalking.
Oh, God,
like,
no.
I know, but that's literally, like, what
If you
I
guys get that down, we could get this guy for jaywalking.
and I was, like, in high school, so I honestly don't do bad stuff. Like, I'm pretty straight edge. Bad stuff? Yeah. I mean, okay, here we go.
So I ripped someone else's pants.
You're going to crack up at this one. So I play Madden, and Peter Mendiola also plays Madden. You guys know Peter Mendiola, owner of Coldwell Banker West.
Yeah.
I had to destroy him 25-0. Chargers. I was the Chargers. He was the Chargers. We talk about this. The moment that will never be forgotten is the time that I destroyed him 25-0. So
Hey, if you're listening,
that was the worst thing I've ever done.
It's the worst best thing, huh?
Exactly. It's like not even bad. I just want to throw that in
I
there.
know, right? I just wanted to bring that up and let him know.
Yeah, so I had to somehow incorporate it in.
Oh, man. So comes to the next question. What are your top 3 Charger memories?
Oh, okay. Love that. Game-winning drive, Phillip River. Oh, it's us versus the Giants. We're at the Giants' home. We always have that tie because, Eli didn't want to play for us. We made that trade. Comeback drive, Rivers driving the ball, Vincent Jackson in the back of the end zone, the right side. If you guys remember that, it was like 30 seconds, game-winning drive, throws it up. Vincent Jackson catches it. We win it. Me and my brothers are yelling, screaming. We're punching each other. Like, that was amazing. So that's one memory that comes to mind. Another memory. So another memory, Chargers versus Colts playoffs. If you guys remember, we had to win the last 4 games. Broncos had to lose the last 4 games to get in. We win. We face the Colts. They're like 13-3. We're 8-8. No one gives us a chance. I actually because we had to win 4 games. Broncos had to lose 4 games. I went on eBay.
Is that the torn ACL story?
The what one?
Is that when he tears his ACL?
Which?
Philip?
No, it's the year after that, I think.
Okay, cool.
So I believed in the Chargers, so I actually bought 3 playoff tickets on eBay, and they were front row seats. And they're like, if they don't win, then you get refunded. If they win, you get the tickets. I'm like, cool. So I got 3 front row seats, very front row, for I think it was $400. So it was like $130 each. And that game-winning drive in overtime when Sproles does the juke, literally right in front of my face. I was there for that when we got to knock the Colts out of the playoffs.
Dude, that's awesome.
So I was there for that. That's my number 2. Number 3, Chargers moment.
This year when they win the Super Bowl.
I'm not gonna get a Chargers tattoo until they win the Super Bowl. That's what I always say. Like, there's things that I'm so into, and Chargers and football is like up there in my life. Fantasy football, Madden, and all that stuff. So when they win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna get a Chargers tattoo. But I the last one, I mean, there's so many Chargers I think it's third one. I can't think of one, man.
I think you already talked about it. I think it was the LT.
Yeah, it's probably the LT one, man.
When the O-line just picks them up and stuff.
Yeah, no, actually, no. I got the third one. It's a bad memory of the Chargers, but it's actually what got me into football.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't even into football. I mean, I remember going to church, Corpus Christi, and at the end, the pastor would always be like,
he'd always,
go Chargers, right? And I wasn't a football fan even yet. And I was just like, what's this whole thing about? And then I remember I was at like the commissary, and then on the TV they were playing, it was the Chargers versus the Patriots in the playoffs. And I didn't watch any football. And I remember I was like, oh shoot, game-winning drive. Oh, this is a kick. If we make the kick, I think we win or go to overtime. I think, was it win or overtime? I can't remember. But that's like my first memory of like actually watching football. And I saw it and I was just like, dang. So that was LT's epic season. So I actually missed LT's epic season. I missed the whole thing. And I only watched that playoff last kick. And after that, I was just like, man, that was so exciting. Like, I'm gonna watch. And from the next year, that's when I started watching All In.
Nice.
So I missed the LT season, but the first moment I actually got into it was that missed kick.
Nice.
So
It's like a good one, but a bad one.
yep, and that's why I hate the Patriots too.
Goodie,
Like,
right.
that's my
Hate
first
the
memory.
Patriots.
Exactly.
Jeez, I'm gonna be mad the whole day because you brought them up.
I have to.
Yeah. So question number 12: if you were Santa's elves, what would your name be?
Oh, I guess I'd be Goofy or Happy or Mr. Optimistic. I'm one of those things. To be honest, like, this isn't a front. Like, if anyone knows me, I'm like probably the most optimistic person that you'll ever meet. Like,
That's awesome.
I don't really see the bad side. There's always like opportunity. We got to find the good in it. It's just how I naturally am.
That's something that I like to think about myself as well. Is like, if you tell me a problem, I'm gonna spit out a solution, and I'm gonna keep doing that because like by default, my brain is just like, how do we figure it out?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Like it's like it's an obstacle. Well, how are we gonna get through it?
Exactly.
Just no matter what, keep pushing forward. Question number 13: favorite actor who played Spider-Man?
Oh, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, original.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah, I like the original ones, and I mean, I'm into this one because my son's into Marvel now. and
Yeah,
all
the
that
new one I
stuff.
like it because it plays with the Marvel story and everything.
Yeah, it's different, but Tobey Maguire for sure.
Yeah, that guy's the OG. Question number 14: what is your guilty pleasure song?
Oh, my guilty pleasure song. Like, I guess like one that gets me pumped up or gets me excited. Or are you saying, oh, gotcha. So the song that I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I like, that I really like. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so I dance obviously, and I
Yeah.
love to dance, and I'm always about like feeling like a good song. I didn't even know this song was about that, but you know the song, I'm so excited, and I just, do you know that song is about two people getting together
Oh, what?
and
So
sexy
excited,
time?
I just can't hide.
I'm about to lose control. I'm about to. I didn't know that. You just hear it like in movies and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is
Yeah, it's an
funky.
exciting part. Like they're having fun. Like
Yeah, so like I would sing that like when I set an appointment, like, ooh, I'm getting down, and then when I actually listen to it, I'm like, oh wow,
Ooh,
like I didn't even know. But yeah, that's one of the songs that I just like every time it plays, it's like, watch out, it's going down. It's just like such a fun song to listen to. You
it
know?
just gets you hyped.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting here to the last question, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and you're gonna repeat it and fill in the blanks. Okay?
Oh, so you said I repeat it and fill in the blank.
Okay. So and then look at this one when you say it. Okay?
Okay.
So my name is blank, and I get my energy from.
My name is Anthony Manzon, and I get my energy from opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Anthony, thank you so much for stopping by, man. Appreciate your time, your stories, your knowledge, and everything that you shared with us. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 41 in the books. Thank you so much. And like always, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, and tell everybody about this. Your mom, your tia, your uncle, your ex-boyfriend, everybody. We appreciate you. We love you. Energy out. Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's all for the best of, their life and their, upbringing. So I feel like that is the best thing you could do when you guys both see eye to eye.
Yeah, that's huge. And for anybody that does, even if your spouse isn't in the business, like, I think I read the stat that real estate agents actually have one of the highest divorce rates. And I believe that, honestly, just because how much work and determination you have to put into this job, the amount of personal growth that you have, like as an agent or as an entrepreneur, it's scary when your significant other isn't growing at the same rate as you are. And they don't understand why you're spending $1,000 on a training program. They're like, we need to buy this. And you're like, this is the growth that I need to take us to the next business.
This $1,000 is going to turn into, X and Y.
When they don't get it, it creates like that friction between like the two spouses. In order to succeed in this business, you have to have the success or the support of both people. If you don't have that support, it's either your business is going to crash eventually or the relationship's going to crash eventually. One of the two.
That's golden. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good. And, speaking about, growth, you said, whether it's personal or in your business, mindset's a big thing for us here. How do you work on your mindset and how do you keep your mindset focused so that, at all times, that, hey, this is what's keeping me focused?
So I would say mindset is 99% of the success, if maybe not even 100.
No, yeah, definitely.
It's huge. And, for me personally, I'm big on like words of affirmation. So, when I wake up in the morning, I say my affirmations. Yesterday, I was in a competition against other real estate agents. Before getting on, I said my affirmations. I walk around the room. I say, I'm a strong communicator. I'm an inspiration. I'm competitive. I love to get the job done. I'm dependable. I have integrity. Like I say those affirmations that pump me up, get me in the zone. Because I think one thing as an entrepreneur and as an agent, to be successful in this business, the secret is how can you get in the zone and stay in the zone?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get in the zone for a week, get in the
Exactly.
zone for a day, and then you fall out of the zone, and that creates that inconsistency.
Right.
So the secret is like, figure out how do you get in the zone and how do you stay in the zone. For me, it's going to trainings, it's being around the right people, it's saying my affirmations, reviewing my goals. Those things keep you in the zone, and the longer you can stay in the zone, the more momentum you can create and create this big business or whatever you're looking to succeed in.
No, yeah, that's dude. I'm like over here. I gotta take note of this stuff. No, but it's true because a lot of people, you know, like they figure it out that one way. Okay, I get motivated for so long, but how can you stay inspired? You know, because motivation will run out eventually. So how do you keep fueling yourself? And it's the simple things that you do. I feel like for me, like I write and journal a lot. So my affirmations, I write them out, and as I'm writing them out, I'm telling them to myself. So I'm an avid journaler. Like I have to write down everything that I'm doing because unfortunately my brain's like a 1 megabyte when I wish it was like a 1 terabyte.